What? All right. I understand that we are currently live on Off Tackle Empire, and Illinois has just tipped off against Duquesne. We are back for round two. We got some more amenities this time. Got, well, a few more people in the room. I still have the specter of the Malort haunting me. That light's going to become so annoying to me that I'm going to probably shut it off sooner rather than later. But I've been very unconcerned about this game because, to paraphrase the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I know for sure, danger. I believe he will be a big part of this game plan. Let's see. We ain't got anybody on here yet. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna redo my intro if we ever get people in here. It feels like Thursday could have been a perfect storm. Who knows? Nobody knew who I was until I put on Damask. That shit never gets old.
Texas is losing.
That is fantastic news. It's always good when Texas is losing. All right. We understand now that Texas is losing. That is very good news. That's very good news. I had to abandon our local Golden Grizzlies to watch the Illini here. But things are already going better than they did against Morehead State. Duquesne did not just, drain some threes right off the bat. So we're already ahead of where we were. The cool thing about the Marcus Damask triple-double is that, as you watch the game, you weren't thinking, boy, he's really on fire today. It's just he just worked forever. It felt like he really had to earn it. It was, he had kind of a bad shooting day. He really, it was really that triple-double was all heart, you could say. Let's see. We just got, God damn it. To get to the comments, I have to scroll past the odds for every team that was in the tournament. Holy shit. I can't believe Coleman shot that and then got the rebound. They just straight up weren't looking at the ball. That's insane. I mean, I can't believe they let him get his own rebound there. That was absolutely nuts. So we don't yet have a three-pointer for Coleman, but we do have a lead. Now, I want to reiterate, in case anybody that's on here doesn't know, I am running through the Ncaambbt family today. Duquesne coach Keith Ncaambtt's son was on Loudoun United FC that played Detroit City earlier. And my Detroit City FC boys beat Robbie Ncaambtt. So now bring me the patriarch.
So if her knows it's near your pizza, don't let her.
Man, I just can't believe that Ncaambtt story about him getting fired from Central Michigan because he asked for the N-word pass and didn't really get it. But I think they would have ridden harder for him if he had, instead of just trying to use the N-word in a positive way, all he had to do was say real before each instance of that. You know what I'm talking about. They might not have defended his usage, but they would have understood what he was saying more. So, 9-4 right now. We are about to get to the under 16. I felt, I don't know. I'm really not nervous about this game because I think if things break down, we have danger. Oakland has just taken the lead on NC State. This is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it pains me. It pains me to have to root against NC State because that is a very, 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 very thick man that plays center for NC State. I always, always, always stand a thick king. But unfortunately, as the former lead trombonist for the Golden Grizzlies Jazz Band, I once again must ride with the Grizz. I really thought Washington State, Iowa State, I really thought Washington State was in really good position until the last like 10 minutes or so of that one. I don't know why I had Drake in the Sweet 16, but I really should have beat Wazoo. I'm still a little bit bummed about that one. I mean, as far as the Illini Rogues Gallery is concerned, we've already outlasted chronologically Bill Self and Kentucky, John Calipari, and we've outlasted Bruce Pearl. But of course, we still have work to do with North Carolina because Michigan State. Well, here's what happened. Okay, as I said, I was at a soccer game earlier. Against Keith Dambrot's kid. And after the game, we were checking on the score of the Michigan State UNC game. And it was 28-20 Michigan State. And then we, packed up, went to the bathroom, went home. It was like 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. And when we got home, MSU still hadn't scored. They gave up like a 17-0 run, basically. So that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. That one really, when I watched in the second half, reminded me a lot of Illinois' own second-round loss as an 8 seed, or as an 8 or 9, I don't remember which, against number 1 seed Kansas in that NCAA tournament in 2011. That was the one that I went to as a member of the band. All right, we got under 3 minutes to go in Oakland, NC State, and the Golden Grizz have got the ball. And this is just one hell of an opportunity for Greg Kampe. Now, he looks a bit like Tim Robinson now, but he's lost a lot of weight. He used to look like Tony Stewart when I first moved here. I absolutely love this detail on the Golden Grizz uniforms. They've had a lot of different uniforms, but one of the design elements they've kept the same is the last names below the numbers. It looks kind of like EuroLeague, right? I've seen that in like European basketball leagues, and I think it's really cool. It's really unique. It's a design element that they kind of own. Of course, every time NC State has a hideous loss under Kevin Keats, my thought is always, oh, Keats, motherfucker! Oh, Keats, goddamn! I wrecked my voice today. I don't sound as deranged as I could, but oh, Keats. Jet Golke got that bag. Jet Golke is advertising for TurboTax. But unfortunately, the Grizz just missed a free throw that would have put them up 3. We are at 2 minutes to midnight. So I'm going to do another Tom Izzo retires article because Tom Izzo retired from the NCAA tournament. Oh, boy. NC State picks up the foul and misses the layup. But we're not quite back at the Illini game yet. I was almost tempted to skip this one because I just don't think it'll be all that dramatic. And yes, I know that in saying that, I am fully inviting some drama to happen. I understand the game I'm playing. NC State goes and misses on their free throw, and it is still a 2-point game. So they have just missed a chance to tie it up. The 14 seed Golden Grizz will possess the ball, leading by 1 with 1:47 to go. I will monitor that, but we've got to switch back to Illinois Duquesne right now. It is 13-6. And let's see. Dane is in the game already. Here we go. We are currently in the danger zone. Well, he tried to do a little too much on that one, but I like that we're going to establish the Dane. That's what you got to do in a game like this. You've got to establish the Dane. You've got to make them respect the Dane. You've got to just, Dane it early, Dane it often, and just, I think we've got a pretty good Daning game right here. Dane just found himself on nobody. Hawkins between him and the nearest. An errant pass into the stands, and Illinois fans are going nuts there. That's lovely. There you are, Keith Ncaambbt. Your kid plays for a team that likes to flop and roll around and hold their ankles and beg the officials to notice them. Oh, what a disgraceful performance I witnessed at Keyworth Stadium today. It's okay because the good guys won. I am running through the Ncaambbt family today like Terrence Shannon through that defender. My goodness. Look, I'll say this, right? Illinois fans are just like, any Illinois fans that's really mad about any chance that Terrence Shannon is getting, like, man, check yourself. What did you think was going to happen? We're like less than 2 weeks removed from chanting at Mason Gillis about his legal issues. What makes us so special? What I would instead pose to them as a question is, dude, our whole university's administration and the legal system couldn't stop Terrence Shannon Jr. Who do you have on your team that's going to do that? Who do you have that's more powerful than the whole University of Illinois? That's what I thought. 16-6. We might have fairly low stakes here. Wow. Well, they couldn't go around Dane, so they went over Dane. St. Peter's mentioned. Let's get back to this Oakland NC State game. NC State has taken a 2-point lead. This is very disheartening. This is a very critical possession, but that's going to send Golke to the line. So here we go. I got the white jersey. You see, I got the white jersey with the red script. What I'm drinking on is Botran 15-year Guatemalan rum that I also picked up on my way back from Mexico. I decided I was going to start yesterday or 2 days ago with the rum on the rocks, and I might as well just stick to those steps with a minor variation. Derek.
Hi, Derek.
We're in the danger zone. I am running through the Ncaambdts today. Jack Golke has tied it up for the Golden Grizz against NC State and thick man number 30. Oh, Keats. Oh, Keats. Time out. What? No, it just coughed a little bit. Oh, I got 3 at this point. we have less viewership than we had on Thursday. I feel like Thursday could have been a perfect storm. But this is true. What? No. So we're shooting free throws. Illinois is doubling up Duquesne, and this is wonderful. Yeah, so see, this time I switched out the hound that was over here. Now, I didn't do this on purpose. She just decided to come over here. She really thinks she's going to get the Girl Scout cookies that are in a bag near me. If she just stays near them long enough and they end up unmanned, she's really pretty sure that could happen. Damask with the fadeaway. And that's just, I mean, we're getting pretty fancy early. We have had a lot of Dane minutes already, which my theory was that it was going to be a Dane game. Yep. Drew Joyce the third. Duquesne, man, we just can't. Like I said, man, the Yinzers, the Yinzers in my wife's family, they do not ride hard for Duquesne, but I guarantee you I'd hear about it. However, we are currently on a rate at the rate that we're on right now. We're going to blow them out the water. Okay, there we go. There's a Hawkins 3. I think it might be over now. It's all over but the shouting. Hawkins is now 1 for 2 from beyond the arc. That's what we, I mean, again, he gets that +1 boost to all of his other stats if he makes a 3. We got the momentum right now, right? When they're at the line, it's going to be shaking. You know, the little meter is not going to go where they want it to go. Oh my God. He just made another one. Now his stats are +2. Hawkins has just made back-to-back 3s. I mean, he's continuing to make the same face that he makes when he gets called for a foul, which seems to be his only face. It just has very different contexts. We're in business here. We're cooking with gas. How are the Grizz doing? How are the Grizz doing? Well, there is much consternation. We still have a tie game. Millicent, come here. Millicent, come here. Everybody wants Millie to come up here. There is a huddle for the Golden Grizz. Can Greg Campy do it again? We are watching the premier basketball organization in the Oakland, Washtenaw, Wayne County area. I think Oakland would beat Michigan by double digits this year easily. Hey. So, yeah. How about the extent to which Hunter Dickinson was the glue that was holding Michigan basketball together all these years? I mean, I know Michigan fans were talking to themselves about how, like, well, you know, maybe we've removed the locker room kids. Oh, man, that NC State fan just did the sign of the cross with 13.5 seconds to go. We are getting out all of our greatest thoughts and prayers here in the second round for Oakland versus NC State. Oh, judging by the reaction of our MSU cohort here, it looks like Michigan State has taken a 2-1 lead on Michigan in hockey. Now, of course, I'm always down for Michigan losing at things. But when we first started that game up, it was 2-0 Michigan like 2 minutes in. Now, they waved off that second goal. So, it wasn't that bad. But it's now 2-1 Michigan State. What's interesting is that because of that hockey final, that Big Ten hockey final, nobody can park at the place where they're doing the gymnastics final. Or the gymnastics final, or the Big Ten gymnastics championships. Nobody can park there. And Michigan State is, went into this as a favorite. We're having the Illinois replay review. We're doing it. Never forget that 2013 team that sacrificed everything so that we could review possession. Okay, well, I mean, it happened. I've got to bring it up from the champagne room. We're reviewing possession with 1.3 seconds to go in Oakland, NC State. I mean, look, I'm giving my attention to this game, hoping that Duquesne can come back and make this a dramatic enough game to have more things to comment on. Yeah, what keeps happening? we got to make sure though that we do the never forget tweet from the Champagne Room every single time a high profile game has this Illinois replay review. I retweet never forget with the poster from the 2012-13 John Gross's first team. Okay. Never forget. There it is. Never forget what happened to the 2013 Fighting Illini so that this moment here could happen. And Oakland cannot fucking believe it. It is out on them. So, yes, our 2013 tournament run came to an end at the hands of Jim Larrañaga, thanks to an errant call, so that Oakland could get fucked right here. Greg can't believe it. Oh my God, I'm just the worst. Millie knocked my D Brown jersey down. So now that implies to me that perhaps she wants to wear it. I might be about to make my dog really, really mad. 2-2. The Big Ten hockey final is now 2-2. I have an emotional barometer over on my left side that's telling me how that's going.
You can see her face.
Relax, doggy.
Welcome to Millie. It's okay. Look, it's okay. You have it half on, so I guess that's okay. Just leave her alone.
There we go.
I like the
I told you I was about to make her really, really mad.
Dog. Whenever he probably told you that she flips out about stupid shit.
No. The problem is if I do that again, she might actually bite me.
Or me, since my hands are here.
No, yeah. I don't want anybody getting bitten, is my point. Well, see, here's the problem, is I think I would piss her off putting it all the way onto her, but I think I would also piss her off trying to take it off of her at this point. So now the jersey is just in no man's land. I've just had to abandon my jersey half on Millie here.
She's looking at me like, Mom, can you imagine what he just did? Did you not do that?
I'm nowhere.
You're still at the bottom, aren't you?
Yeah, but that's not visible. Where did I go?
Does it say anything?
There I am. Well, at this point, I basically have to just hope that Millie at some point gets off the couch and like scratches my D Brown jersey off of herself, because I can neither put it the rest of the way on her nor take it off of her without her getting really, really mad at me. She is a very finicky dog sometimes. She really does not like her paws touched.
Is this necessary? I don't think she likes you touching her paws. Oh.
Yeah, there's a cuddly hound dog.
Hmm?
There's a cuddly hound dog. All right. Okay. We are 50 seconds into this overtime with no score. Oh my goodness. Man, 30 is a big boy. He's certainly no Simbular. That is the thick king that I would stand.
Texas is losing 28-19 at the half.
Rick Barnes versus Texas is finally happening, although I assured everybody that it wouldn't be possible. And Rick Barnes is, in fact, winning. Unsurprising. Just generally, Texas shouldn't have good things. Texas scored 19 and a half. That's pretty gross. Boy, Kevin Keats has a pretty good I can't believe this shit is happening to me right now face. It's a very different brand than Hawkins, right? Because, Hawkins does that, the mouth agape. Keats has just like really narrows these eyes down, just like. Are we 3-2? And Michigan now leads the Big Ten hockey final 3-2. Man, are we still in the first period there? Second period. So what I said when I went to preview how we were doing this game this tournament is that Coleman Hawkins, the only way that this tournament run will not have a technical foul called on Coleman Hawkins is if we win the whole damn thing and aren't really challenged that much along the way, because they are itching to call a tech on Coleman Hawkins at all times. And it's not necessarily that he hasn't earned it. It's just, boy, they really want to. They got Keisei Tominaga for, I didn't think all that much. Of course, I guess the Big Ten does let him get away with a lot. Kind of because Keisei Tominaga is sweet. Boy, it is 32-13. We are low drama right here. Goodness gracious. I mean, I'm going to have to manufacture some stuff. I already cleared out my schedule for next Saturday, though. So, would it be next Saturday or Thursday? Okay. Thursday, then. I guess I got to clear my schedule. Oh, my goodness. That is true. The other thing about Coleman Hawkins is that my favorite Coleman Hawkins story is how, like, he was giving a master class one time, and he was asked to demonstrate, kind of, workshop his vibrato, and so he tried to play a passage without vibrato, because Coleman Hawkins had this big, beautiful vibrato on the tenor saxophone, and then he literally couldn't do it. He was physically incapable of playing a note without a whole bunch of stank on it. Oh man, we were okay. There we go. There's the Dane Danger Shaq dunk pick. That is appropriate. Yeah, so that review thing we were talking about when the first time I realized that Oakland was not a school in California. It was in Illinois. Played them when I was in the basketball band back in college in 2011, I think, 10 or 11. And we played the first few minutes with a women's ball until DJ Richardson, went up to the ref. It's like, hey, something is wrong here, right? Like, I don't know what's going on with this ball. And they spent like 5 minutes looking at the ball, and like, God, I wish I could find a replay of that with that, like, that replay review cam that's like a real, like a fisheye lens type thing that makes them look like huge head aliens just staring at the basketball for like 5 minutes. That would have been a pretty good one to have on that replay review cam. That was my first introduction to Oakland University, was when we hosted them at the then Assembly Hall and played a few minutes with the women's ball. That was also when I learned that there was a difference between the men's ball and the women's ball. It was just, I don't know, I never thought about that. Oh my goodness. A thick king has just put NC State up by 1 point. Oh man. I want to be upset, but look at the man. In awe of the size of the lad. An absolute unit. What?
The lad.
It's a whole thing. In absolute awe of the lad. Wow. Yeah. I used to live in Rochester. Yeah, my wife went to OU for what, 1 year? Yeah,
90% of my family went to,
I had friends that went to OU. Yeah, I mean, I'm tight with OU, but yeah, I got some offers from people I knew to play in the pep band at the O Arena, and I still regret not taking them because well, the O Arena is one of the more iconic venues in low major hoops. Millie, can I take this off of you? Millie, can I have my jersey back? There we go. Okay. All right. I at least recovered the jersey from. I found this at the Royal Oak Salvation Army a few years back. It is too big. Did you drool on my jersey? I can't be too mad at you for drooling on my jersey. I put it on you. There we go.
Billy, move.
We got all right. This is now an Oakland cast. This is now a Grizz cast. Welcome to the first ever Grizz cast. We are coming to you live from somewhere within a half-hour drive of the arena. And as I converted it into an Oakland cast, NC State hit a corner three, one of those NES double dribble corner threes, splash through, 5-point game.
Oh.
And Oakland could not make a rebuttal. So it looks like Oakland is going to have to drink all the beer left in the cups. They did not make the rebuttal shot.
You can go jump in Beer Lake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot. What was the deal with Beer Lake?
So, back like 50 years ago or something, they wanted to become a dry campus, and so the administration dumped all the beer on campus into that lake like 50 years ago. And then apparently the rumor has it there's also a car at the bottom of the
Oh, I've heard that one. Yes.
Someone drove it. And then there's also I don't know if it still is, but there used to be a tradition. One of the frat houses at the end of the year would dump all of their leftover beer into the lake.
And that's like the arena overlooks that, right?
I don't know. It's in the middle of campus, so
yeah, Beer Lake.
Like, there's a rule that you do not like try to swim in Beer Lake. You don't try to wade in Beer Lake. Like, you don't go near it because it's like supposedly like kind of toxic.
Well, there's some Oakland University lore. Beer Lake, where they once tried to dispose of all of the beer in an attempt to make OU a dry campus. And also somebody drove a car into it, I guess.
That's a rumor. There's not confirmed whether that's true or not.
Well, look, that makes me believe it more, like the bulldozer buried beneath Memorial Stadium in Champaign. I want to excavate it because, like, what does a 1924 bulldozer look like? Oh, man. Well, offensive rebound. Oh, they're just, oh, man. And the big boy has come down with the rebound. Look, if Oakland was going to be defeated, I am glad that it was by that specimen of a man for NC State.
The fact that Oakland got this far.
3-3. We are knotted up at 3 in the Big Ten hockey final. However, the Illini game is 36-15. My goodness. I have never been concerned about this game. I was a million times more concerned about the Loyola game than this one. I have never expressed any concern about us beating Duquesne. I knew Loyola was going to be a problem the second the bracket dropped. He's looking for danger.
Oh, sorry. I dropped your...
All right, we're going to get some danger free throws here. This is where things could become a little dicey for our boy, but man, I mean, we're more than doubling him up right now.
You know how old this switcher is?
How old?
Look at the size.
Wow. Oakland has scored a 3, but there's 14 seconds. It would... Well, it certainly won't happen if I switch back to it. Let me put it that way.
Chris, I got this sweatshirt.
Oh my God. Abominable free throw by Danger.
Medium. I haven't been a medium since high school. But I keep it. I don't know. It's like sentimental. I think I got it when I got accepted to it.
All right. Yep. Danger is absolutely Shaq incarnate. I think he really needs to try the granny shots.
My dad went
I
there.
think
All 3 of his sisters that graduated from college went there. Some of their husbands went there. Everyone has their son went there.
I think this could be the last game in the tournament where Dane has a really huge impact, because I think we're going to run into teams with the caliber of athletes where Dane is going to be a liability on defense. All right. Duquesne has gotten back to within half of our score.
Yeah.
Let's check this out then. Goal for Michigan State.
At the end of the period.
At the end of period 2.
Nice.
Man, is college hockey usually this high scoring?
Yeah, it can be. It can be.
I don't watch much college hockey that's not at the club level because, of course, you know, I'm an alum of the harassing Illini.
Oh, that's it. Count that motherfucker.
Yep. That's a goal.
How many people are there now?
Man. That Oakland thing is very disappointing, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I was very worried about BYU. I had us losing to BYU in the second round, and BYU came out and had like one of the worst shooting nights of their lives. So, you know, they refused to play on Sundays, but they also refused to play on Saturday by coughing it up to Duquesne. Are we having an altercation of some kind?
No. Michigan's coach is just the biggest sorry ass bro. He already walked in the locker room.
Well, oh, okay. So Michigan's coach does not want to play out this 0.7 seconds in the Big Ten hockey final. He absolutely wants nothing to do with it. Oh, I didn't know Duncan Keith was a Sparty.
What?
Well, good news is UConn's probably gonna kick Northwestern's ass.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. All right, well, Oregon versus Creighton is coming up. Now, at some point, we've got to get Creighton on the stream here. To see if Creighton, you know, what? Yeah. Now, of course, you know, me and Emin Wildcat and Andrew were in a text thread with Creighton, the Iowa writer, bullying him for being tied with John Gross What's he doing? Does he know that he's a 3 seed? Well, I'll tell you what. It is looking like I am going to have to honor my commitment on Saturday or on Thursday, whenever the hell we play this Sweet 16 game. A thing that I have never seen before, having only been watching Illini basketball for 17 years. Once we start that game, I am filling this with Labatt's blue because they don't have Labatt's orange. I do have another Underwood. It's the bubbly Underwood. I feel like Underwood is probably pretty bubbly right now. I don't have autofocus on that camera. I wonder if I could set it up to do it. I really don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's a need to. Well, I can just always stock up on more Underwood before the next one. So I think definitely we're going to have a pretty bubbly Underwood. Yeah, very, very disappointing for the Golden Grizz. The first ever Golden Grizz cast has ended in disaster for Oakland. So yeah, it looks like we are discontinuing the Golden Grizz cast as an idea. The first 2 days of the NCAA tournament are just the best thing in sports. I mean, there's just always so much happening. It starts to slow down in the next couple of days, but it really loses steam after that. Do I think that because I've never seen my team make it beyond that round? I mean, it probably doesn't help, but the first couple of days there were like several games on at this time. But it was like this all day. At this point, the competition between Illinois and Duquesne is 2 times Illinois' score versus Illinois' score. Currently, 2 times Duquesne is up by 4. That's a bit of a more fair way to watch it as Damask hits a bucket and gets the foul. Man, that Texas-Tennessee game has been at half for quite a long time.
It has, actually.
I mean, these games are like the length of football games at this point, though. Yeah, well, 2 times Duquesne is still up right now. What do you think? Are the Victory Cigars going to get a heavy rotation tonight? Are we going to see a lot of AJ Red? Man. And then Danger grabs the rebound and just says, "Get the fuck off me. You're very little." I mean, there's just nothing they can do. Illinois just gave up like 3 offensive rebounds, left some wide open shooters. Nothing dropped. I mean, to the extent that it was Duquesne's night against BYU, it is absolutely not like that for them anymore. This is I wonder how many other games in the tournament feature two teams where the S is silent.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, man.
I didn't
At this
realize
point,
that.
it's Illinois versus Duquesne. You know, like it rhymes with Kenny Chesney.
Illinois versus Duquesne.
See, Illinois is weird. However, then you got Illinois, which is what Tim Beckman used to say, the University of Illinois, the good old U of E.
But you can't add the S into Duquesne without adding the S into Illinois.
Duquesne. Oh, yes, I can. Illinois is doubling up Duquesne. Wow. Yeah, man, we're on the highway right now. I could absolutely not sing Danger Zone right now in the octave if my life depended on it. I have been yelling at officials. They refused to call a handball. We had a situation in this game where a dude straight up dove on the live soccer ball during play like he was an offensive lineman on the hands team recovering an onside kick. And nothing happened. It was crazy. All those officials were on deer legs. Like just unnaturally skinny legs out there for the officials. It's you just hate to see it. You know, you want your officials to function more like. I always have a lot of respect for hockey refs when they do that thing where they jump in place, but I really, really like watching VAR will never come to Keyworth Stadium because they just need to install too much equipment, and we will not have it. But what I really like watching is wrestling officials. You know what? I don't really have firsthand knowledge of that Illini runner-up team. I've tried to absorb the history secondhand, and therefore I like D Brown just because, like, he was the coolest of those guys by miles. I mean, he was so fucking cool. It's really tough to argue. Yeah, we did investigate when Detroit City was in a different league and discovered that the refs were not being paid. So lower level United States soccer. Again, I've brought it up on the earlier edition of this cast. But the earlier edition of this cast also noted the US Open Cup thing where, you know, the big money wants only teams in the very top leagues in that thing because they don't want to suffer the indignity of playing a team they think is unworthy. Just like, you know, John Calipari would be very, very happy about that arrangement if MLS teams just had to play each other to determine who is the best team in America. They are scared, and they should be, because they're really not that good. You know, I'm having to invent an awful lot of things to talk about that are not Duquesne, Illinois. It's, I wouldn't say unfortunate, but, you know, I feel like we've gained and lost viewers who were maybe hoping to see something more dramatic happen here. We had drama in the first half of Morehead State. Man, there is some bad hair in Tennessee, Texas. My goodness. I mean, even in the band, there is just a really horrible no sideburns mullet right there in the band. But holy shit, who is number 2 for Texas? And like, did he lose a bet? Oh my God. Let's see if we can find this guy.
Let me zoom in on him. Oh Lord.
Oh my god.
He must have lost a bet.
I literally cannot believe the hair on this guy. I mean, it is a borderline ridiculous. Oh my god.
I mean, maybe he has like a condition, but like it also looks like a girl in high school that like shaved the tails of her eyebrows.
Kendall Weaver. I'm going to assume that that's Kendall and not Chendall.
I'm not gonna lie, most girls are missing out their eyebrows and they're filled in.
Kendall
Girl,
Weaver. Okay.
most of the time, her eyebrows are kind of fake. because
We gotta
they're filled in.
we gotta
because
find
they
a picture
don't
of
have a
that.
tail end on one of them.
I can't find a good angle, but
Well, I mean, just look up his picture.
I did.
Yeah.
But here we go. Michigan has just hired Dusty May. How do we feel about the implications of that? I mean, it's certainly not Juwan Howard. I heard that they were considering trying to get John Beeline back. Here's the guy, Kendall Weaver. My goodness. I mean, it honestly looks photoshopped on there. It's just, is that a current? That's a bit of an old picture. I mean, he kind of looks like this UT Arlington transfer. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, it almost feels like, okay, I guess he's had this cut for a while. I guess like a few years ago, I think what happened was he finished last in his fantasy football league like 3 years ago, and he just fell in love with what he saw in the mirror.
Could be a medical condition.
Yeah, his teammates do indeed need to be honest with him.
How's hockey?
Started the third.
Well, see, this is great. Michigan has hired Florida Atlantic's Dusty May. So they're already getting ahead of losing to Illinois, which he did this year. Also to Northwestern in the NCAA tournament. So that's just phenomenal stuff. We've got they've already got, they got their expectations already set at losing to Illinois, as they should be. I know that we must have hit half at that one. Now, what games are even still going on? Well, the Big Ten hockey final is still going on BTN. And that is probably the most compelling sports game that I've got any interest in watching right now, because I think Tennessee is just going to walk away from it. SEC gymnastics finals. That is also a fairly compelling one. Who's up there? Kirk Fleet won at heavyweight. Jesse Mendez, Ohio State. Levi Haynes, Penn State. Carter Strachey, Penn State. Yeah, so Penn State is going to win the national title in wrestling again.
Flirt with that girl, boy.
Absolutely no drama there.
I like when they show the crowd and you see some like kid trying to back on some girl.
was very disappointing to me that Edmund Ruth decided this year that he was just going to try to Xerxes his way to the title. He won his second round matchup on an escape point and a riding time point against a stalling penalty for the other guy. 2-1. I mean, just the worst kind of wrestling match that you can possibly watch. And the BTN banner finally, no, their breaking news is still about wrestling. Good. That is substantially more important than Michigan basketball. And I'm not even making that up. I'm not even trying to be snarky. Wrestling is so much more important than Michigan basketball.
A little bit. Being a little bit snarky.
I just really like wrestling.
And you really hate Michigan basketball.
I don't know. I mean, there are things I like about Michigan basketball, such as that they haven't beaten Illinois since before COVID was a thing. That's my favorite thing about Michigan basketball, actually. It kind of rules. Yeah, we're down to about 17 minutes to go in that Big Ten championship hockey game. And the shots are 25-15 in favor of Michigan, yet they trail 4-3. And Chris over here is ahead of us on watching this game, so I feel like something bad is about to happen. I felt like Courage the Cowardly Dog just then. I just know something bad's gonna happen. And it did. We are at 4-4. We are knotted up in the Big Ten hockey final.
Excuse her if she kicks you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get kicked by this dog. But see, unlike the other one, I don't think she's gonna bite me if I touch her feet. Oh my God, I could put the jersey on Moon. 50-26 halftime. I mean, I'll say this about Illinois versus Duquesne. If we lost here, it would be like maybe the worst thing that's ever happened to Illinois athletics. Like, I mean, it would be truly horrifying. It would be cosmic horror beyond comprehension to lose this game at this point. It would, boy. I don't think the best game of the tournament so far is the NC State Oakland game. Auburn Yale was pretty good. Or not, yeah, Auburn Yale was pretty lit, especially because it involved Bruce Pearl losing. That was just a phenomenal development. All right. Rum time is over. It's time to dress Moon. Moonhound. Moon.
I'm gonna borrow you real quick.
It's so perturbed. Look me up.
What do you mean Iowa 63-7? Did you forget that we didn't score in that game? It was 63-0. Okay, we had to do a photo up here.
Poor dog.
Moon. What's it like repping D Brown, Moon? She doesn't have much to say. Oh. Oh.
No, you come here.
There we go. There we go. Oh, 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 there we go.
Hold on, I'm standing on it.
There we go. Oh my goodness. I have the goodest dog in the world.
You sit now. Good for your audio.
Moonhound.
Sorry, she's busy watching Chris. Chris has the food after all.
Man. Yeah. I hate to say it, but this is currently I can't describe this as the hockey. No, I can describe this as the hockey cast because that's neutral. Now look, I do want a specific outcome in that game. I just don't like Michigan that much. But I don't know. I mean, I know that hockey purists are really mad about the Big Ten hockey thing, right? Because it broke up a superior and more diverse conference, if my understanding is correct. But generally, I mean, what the Big Ten is 6 teams now in hockey, right? 7. The LSU has won the SEC gymnastics title.
Moon, look. Moon. Moon, look. Moon. Hey.
Man, when I think about LSU athletics, it just makes me think of a specific thing about that I saw about Brian Kelly. Right. In case. Oh, no. I got to pull up something in case not everybody has seen this. When Brian Kelly was hired at LSU, this one was described as every single LSU fan the first time Brian Kelly loses a football game. So here we go. Let's get that up. I'm going to present. There we are. I mean, basically Coach O, kind of, right? Not all that different. Well, I mean, what do we even have here for drama? I mean, we've got, of course, Illinois. I think is going to survive. Northwestern we'll play UConn. Purdue. I actually can't remember who Purdue plays. I'm just the worst.
Wait, really? Didn't they study that one?
Who are they playing?
Oh, maybe I think that's what he wins. They're playing Utah State.
Ah, Purdue versus Utah State.
I think that's one who UConn was playing.
Yeah, so Utah State versus Purdue. I'll tell you what. When I think about, just say it out loud. The Utah State game, right? It's kind of this like joke that my sister and I always have when we get our flight numbers assigned to us, and we text each other the flight number to see if it sounds like a flight, if it just like sounds like a flight that has a Wikipedia article because it has a disaster associated with it, right? Where it's like, like I don't know, like let's say what flight 287. I mean, that just sounds like one that you don't want to be on. I had like flight 1200 one time, and it's like, nothing happened on flight 1200. It's something like flight 72. I mean, that's just not a flight number you want. So let's think about this, right? The Utah State game. That could be a thing that haunts Purdue, right? That just sounds on its face like it might be a thing. Like the Loyola game or the Fairleigh Dickinson game. Well, I imagine one of the things that will give Utah State a lot of trouble is the fact that Purdue has a center that can knock you out of the game by concussing you, and then you get a foul called on you. Like, he can just kind of throw bows with reckless abandon in the lane. That's because he's so large. It's been a bit of a mystery that refs have had to do to try to figure out exactly how to call things. I mean, he does challenge people. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, as I said earlier, like if Illinois outlasts Purdue, then I'm just posting like a whole 22-minute clip of every Mark Hamill Joker laugh and tagging Coleman Hawkins. Well, who I wanted to see in the NBA was Taco Fall. Of course, we had it was a Utah Jazz Summer League team that had Taco Fall and Kofi Coburn as their center tandem. That was pretty phenomenal. Was it Chet? Oh, it wasn't Chet Holmgren. I can't remember. There was some guy that was like a top 3 overall pick was going against them in the Summer League, but that's quite the 1-2 punch. Taco Fall, Kofi Coburn, like guys that would have been phenomenal in the 90s NBA. Zach Edey would have been phenomenal in the 90s NBA. I still don't really think that he'll be like a star in the NBA, but you never know. I mean, I didn't think that Malcolm Hill would stick around in the league. You never know. The most surprising Illinois player to end up in the NBA was by miles Mike Henry, who, of course, then transferred to DePaul, where he had his most success. But I just can't believe that Mike Henry ended up in the NBA of all the Illinois players. We have under 9 minutes to go in this Big Ten hockey final. And it sounds like we've got a TV timeout. So let's check on basketball, the thing that we're supposed to be doing here. I don't know. Taco Fall and Tyus Jones. Well, I mean, everybody's seen the Minute Bull Muggsy Bogues poster from the Wizards, right? Where it was, well, at the time, the tallest player to ever play in the NBA with the shortest player to ever play in the NBA. Like, they were a full, there was like a full 3 basketballs between their hands. Like, I'm so glad that Muggsy Bogues was a major character in Space Jam. That rules so hard. Oh my, I just can't believe this motherfucker's hair on Texas, Kendall Weaver. It's just unbelievable. There's a lot of very bad hair in this game. Now, I will say this. My family truly believes that when my sister was like 10 or so, she just shaved off all her eyebrows on accident and then denied it for like, I mean, she still, I believe, to this day denies it.
Well, it's like she denies that she ever farts.
You, I guess, never know what somebody's going through, but I wasn't able to find anything about like, you know, partial alopecia for this dude. Of course, the guy I always think of when I think of alopecia is Ryan Shazier, who had like some of the funniest sexts I've ever seen come out recently. Specifically the ones where like he goes straight from like super mild flirting with his side piece to sending her an ebook about how to do anal. Like, went from 0 to 1 million very fast. It's elite game. I don't know what else to say about that. We are in the second half for Duquesne, Illinois, I believe. Texas, quite disconcertingly, is within 4 points of Tennessee because the only thing that can top Texas being Texas in the tournament is Rick Barnesing. Damn, that body of yours is absurd. Yep. Ryan Shazier game. I'm still mad at Dalton Connect for not wearing 4. I'm sorry. I'm going to run that into the ground. It's just like, you just have fun just once. Connect 4. You don't want that NIL from Hasbro. And I mean, like, Ziegler has some pretty bad hair as well. He's got like the twin ponytails there. We are under 8 minutes to go in this hockey final. I am seeing that Meyer is a sponsor of this, which is absolutely no surprise. I'm also seeing that there's a beef jerky sponsor, a fairly major beef jerky sponsor. All right. Well, time back in for Illinois. Okay, they just talked about points per possession. Now, of course, last night or yesterday, you know, we had Nebraska and Texas A&M at the half. Buzz Williams talked about how these constant fouls were just killing their PPP, which is just such a funny thing to hear somebody say out loud. Well, all right. It's a 20-point game. It's a 20-point game. So only bad things have happened since I went back there. Right. I'm still not concerned. We got Kansas has eliminated Michigan from the women's tournament. I very much dislike Kansas, but it's always good to see Michigan eliminated from a tournament of any kind. I always like it when a sponsor has just like 3 of its graphics together. Like, well, I don't understand what that does for them versus just having one. I'm noting the Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pepper right there. And you see that with NASCAR sometimes. I mean, just like a stripe of 3 of them. I wonder if there have been studies on that. CCHA, that was indeed it. The alliance that got broken up. I mean, very much a precursor to what the Big Ten is doing in football, right? Just attacking conferences. It's just they weren't ever really a part of one, but they were kind of a partner to the Pac-12 before they stabbed them in the back. It's maybe the single most diabolical move that I've ever seen in realignment. I just can't believe how evil they were, the Big Ten, to the Pac-12. We are declaring an armistice. JK LOL. Oh, man. You know what's neat about those Michigan hockey helmets is that they look a lot like Princeton's football helmets. I'm not really sure what the connection is, to be honest. I don't know Princeton to be a much of a hockey power, but still. What? I most certainly did not see Hendrick /Spire /Trackhouse logos on the same dude's fire suit at the same time. Just because of, I mean, why did that happen? They kind of thought they got that one. Well, the drama is high in East Lansing. Speaking of which, I wonder what's going on in the gymnastics championships. We gotta find that out. Michigan State has won the Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championship, their first conference championship in program history. An overall score of 197.6. God, Spire Motorsports is amazing because it started as a grift, and then Justin Haley won the most accidental, like nobody has ever won a race more accidentally than Justin Haley. There's a lightning strike just happened in the 1/2 a lap that it could possibly happen that would have allowed him to win the summer race at Daytona. 197.6. Okay, so Minnesota placed second, 197.5. Michigan got third. And Ohio State fourth, Maryland fifth, Illinois sixth. And Iowa got a 193.975. Oh my goodness. That's very bad. Icing is by miles the most delicious sounding sports penalty.
Well, it's like icing is a drink thing, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. Do you remember icing? The Smirnoff Ice thing? Where you just like present your bro with a Smirnoff Ice that they weren't expecting to see, and then they have to get down on a knee and chug the whole thing? Man, the like immediate post-recession era was weird. That was of course what you as a parent hoped your kid was doing instead of getting into Four Loko. Yeah, I think from a basketball standpoint, I believe that it might just be time to start scouting Iowa State. And the main thing I know about Illinois versus Iowa State is that it just makes me think of Taylor Horton Tucker. Oh boy. MSU had a good amount of looks there, could not convert. Under 2 minutes to go. Hey, Michigan State is really started to take over as far as the shots are concerned. We're damn near even at this point. Wait, are they doing God damn it, son of a bitch?
Let's go straight. You wish.
Wait, they weren't doing that?
No, they were let's go straight.
Oh, it sounded so much like they were going, God damn it, son of a bitch. God I'm just so used to it. Yeah, see, if this was a less of a tense moment here, I'd back it up because God damn it, it sounded so much like they were doing the God damn it, son of a bitch cheer. Yeah, that's a good point. If you're an Iowa fan, who do you root for in Iowa State, Illinois? I mean, that's just well, we had no, you know what? I don't care that much about Northwestern basketball, to be perfectly honest. We did have Northwestern versus Bruce Pearl the one time. But yeah, of course I was rooting for Northwestern basketball. They don't matter in the grand scheme of things. I mean, Northwestern football also doesn't matter, but they have this role of gatekeeping Illinois from ever being good. So they matter to us. They have to. Oh my goodness. We are having a challenge for a penalty with 1:08 to go in the Big Ten hockey final. And Michigan has lost their challenge and a timeout. But yeah, I guess he figured that he might as well use it now since he'll get one back in overtime. A philosophy that, I mean, my basketball coach certainly doesn't believe in. Like, you know, those timeouts roll over and eventually you get, you know, you can just stamp, you get enough of them and you get, you know, free Dunkin' Donuts coffee or something. Just put them on your punch card. It really feels like overtime is coming here. But Michigan is mounting another attack. Oh. And that puck went into the stands. I'll tell you what, as far as sports debris to fly into the stands is concerned, I would be by far the most scared of a hockey puck. because it's hard to see the fucking thing once it leaves the ice. What can you spot it against? It presumably does a lot of damage too. You're never really expecting to see a hockey puck fly at you. I am, of course, monitoring Illinois Duquesne, but damn. I mean, it's 68-40. I mean, I almost feel like we can call this stream, to be perfectly honest. There's just nothing happening with this. I mean, it's just, there's no juice anymore. We figured we'd give Duquesne some time to see if they've got anything left for us. They left it all on the court against BYU. And you know what? I salute them for that. Good for them. They played their hearts out and removed a pretty dangerous team from Illinois' path to the Sweet 16. That's some good stuff. Well, I guess, kind of the only thing left is to do the shot video. I just got to think about it. Man, I was actually thinking about busting out a cigar for this one. But, this doesn't really feel like it should do a cigar, does it? It's anticlimactic. I'm still pretty happy, but I mean, that's the thing about getting to the Sweet 16. The easiest way to get to the Sweet 16 is to keep making the fucking tournament and hope that you get a draw like this. It's a better draw than we got as a 1 seed. Yeah. Next weekend I think there'll be a lot more drama. We get Iowa State and then presumably UConn. Yeah, we are up 30 at this point. I am fairly comfortable calling this stream soon, but you know what? I am going to keep it going, and we are rebranding this as the for the last however long this takes, the Big Ten Hockey Championship stream. We're at high drama. We're also at they're really milking it with the commercial break there. That is taking forever. This X cheer ad is very long.
I think they were doing the ice.
Oh.
Yeah, if you want to, a different period.
Yeah, so we're resurfacing the ice here. Man, that's crazy to have an intermission that long for overtime.
It's another same one as the other period in Santa.
Yeah. Why are 2 channels carrying Oregon versus Creighton? Okay, so we got this orange on orange violence going on here. Oh, for God's sake, Tennessee. What are you doing? God damn, dude. Like, oh, that's a clean block. Max Asmus is the guy that downed the EJ Liddell Ohio State team 3 years ago. The mouth bob shooting guard, whose name does not look like it is pronounced that way in any way, shape, or form. Wow. That is quite the miss. It went around the rim several times for Texas, and we are under 3 minutes in that one. That's an easy layup for Tennessee. I'm gonna crack Cheboygan blood orange honey. I guess I do have some orange beer, but not enough to fill the 3-liter. Well, I think that Duquesne is going, like 2 times Duquesne is going to beat Illinois, but unfortunately that's not like actually a rule for scoring. So it's just kind of what I was paying attention to. It's a 2-point game. Rick Barnes. Can you stop being Rick Barnes for like 2.5 fucking minutes, Rick Barnes? You know, in addition to just some recently acquired severe distaste for Texas, I also just generally don't like it when teams have tremendous success in both football and men's basketball. It feels selfish. It feels, well, I mean, because like when you're fucking eternally cursed with a shitty football program, and you see like, oh, seems that the first step is to have a good football program. Well, okay. I guess there's just nothing to it then. But like, the upshot is Texas would be a pretty intolerable winner here. And Rick Barnes has had this game in the bag from the very beginning. And all he has to do is stop being Rick fucking Barnes in the tournament for the last 2.5 minutes of regulation here. And he gets to go to the Sweet 16. He gets to beat his old school. I mean, all he has to do is stop being Rick Barnes. You know, there's no rule that says that they have to stop airing the Big Ten logo pop-up ad. There's no rule that says they have to stop to stop airing it. And you know what? Like, I don't know who would complain about them not. Wow, we're only halfway through this intermission. It's a long ass intermission. Holy shit. Tennessee just got rejected at the rim. Oh my goodness. Texas's man just took a rising knee to the nuts. Yeah, you know what? That would be the silver lining of Tennessee choking this game, is that like Greg Sankey does not believe that most conferences have any right to play against teams the caliber of the SEC. Yikes. Because yeah, if they do, then there's just Alabama left to play tomorrow. And that, you have everybody talking shit on the Big Ten for, stuff that's happened in the last few years. Well, at least our commissioner didn't come out and say, most of the schools in here don't deserve, the automatic qualifiers don't deserve shit. We have our separate but equal conference tournaments. We can have separate but equal tournaments for all of Division 1, can't we? Ugh. Oh, that's embarrassing for Tennessee, though. They said Asmus hit a game winner against Louisville. That implies they were in a situation where they needed a buzzer-beating shot to beat this year's Louisville Cardinals. That a worse team than Michigan. Oh, man. It's tastier than I remember it being. Now, do we know if the backstory of Sheboygan is anything like that of Zilwaukee? Do you know about these places? Zilwaukee is up near kind of where Andrew's from. And Zilwaukee is north of that fucked up bridge.
Yes.
And Zilwaukee, north of Saginaw. Zilwaukee, Michigan was named by basically some con artists in like the mid 1800s who like named it similar to Milwaukee and like, capitalize. I mean, they did the equivalent today of having a website with a popular website with like a typo in it in the domain name, knowing that people would accidentally find it looking for something that they knew they were supposed. So people went to Zilwaukee looking for jobs because Milwaukee was exploding at the time. But I feel like Sheboygan, Michigan and Sheboygan, Wisconsin do not share that, because who's ever going to Sheboygan, Wisconsin looking for work? Well, I mean, you drive past a place called Zilwaukee and you can't help but wonder, why the fuck is a place called that? That's nowhere near Milwaukee. And it turns out the story is like, I mean, it's actually hard to believe. Like, it sounds so stupid. It also sounds deeply American. How far do we got to go to that intermission? Can't be that.
Sorry, I just started.
Ah. Damn, we got high drama in two things. The sudden death overtime just started, but we're under 50 seconds to go. So we're sudden death overtime in the Big Ten hockey final. Oh no, we'll get some deep Michigan lore here, because I was talking about the fucked up bridge that leads to Zilwaukee. And the fucked up bridge is a reasonably funny story. That was, if you drive up I-75, there's this bridge that basically does a corkscrew to the left. Like, it's a ridiculous bridge to drive on, because why would a bridge ever do this? And answer was, it was, this huge bridge on I-75 to go over a river. And they started, they did both ends. And then as they were working on some of the cantilever sections, like some piece that they were using to like weight it, like broke or fell off. I mean, something like that. I mean, something that they were using to hold the cantilevered section in place broke overnight. I don't remember if it froze or something like that, but it was something that happened when nobody was on site. And it ended up that they had to make the bridge like jog to the left to connect. I mean, it's like 5 degrees off, which is, I mean, I don't know how far it jogs to the left, but it's just a very silly bridge. And so it ended up costing like 5 times as much as it was projected to, but it took 10 years. By the time they were done with this bridge, like 30 to 35% of the population of Saginaw had left. So it's just like this incredible boondoggle of a bridge that just seems like obviously it seems very expensive because it's this it seems very out of place in Saginaw. Oh boy, Michigan got a decent look there. Now, see, I can't dual screen all that well here. So I'm looking at this, but we've got a 58-55 ball game with Tennessee and Texas with 10 seconds to go. And Connect has gotten the rebound. So if Dalton can connect, then Rick Barnes will advance to the Sweet 16. Oh yeah, there's a decent possibility that was a Purdue-ps. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, a lot of times you actually have the engineers do all the things right, and a contractor will just like not understand that the drawings are the way they are for a reason, and there's no room for interpretation. And then just, I mean, I'll tell you what, if there's one thing that I have, one piece of casual advice for anyone that assembles things that I've learned in the fastener industry, it's if there's a washer with the assembly, you need to use the washer. I mean, you can't skip the washer. Never skip the washer. The screw assembly, yeah. I mean, as an Illinois fan, my only thought on Big Ten hockey is, man, it's been a while since Josh Whitman talked about that hockey program he wanted to put in Illinois and that arena that was going downtown Champaign. Anybody remember that? Man, Texas just made a 3 to cut it to a 2-point game with 6 minutes to go. It feels like this Big Ten hockey final is going to be lost more than it'll be won on like a dumb turnover in your own zone. Is kind of the thing that usually tends to happen in these. It's the team that blinks first. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't really. Well, I can't remember if I have Tennessee or Creighton. I mean, I probably chose Creighton. I never believe in Creighton to go that far, but like, I'm not gonna pick Rick fucking Barnes to go to the Elite Eight at this point. A flurry of shots for Michigan go nowhere. Kendall Weaver just got a foul in this game. And so that means that on my phone, I've got to look at his haircut again. All right. We've got a 3-point game, but Connect has one more. If they can do this one, then I will fully believe. All we have to see is Dalton connect. And a second free throw is made by Dalton Connect. 4-point game. I guess that's final. All right. Rick Barnes to the Sweet 16. And Texas out. A momentous occasion. Oof. Yeah, that thing I was talking about with a bad turnover in their own zone looked like that had just happened for Michigan State. But they recovered, they regrouped. We're back even. It feels unfair that a guy named Rutger is on the all Big Ten first team for hockey, not playing for Rutger because he is the only Rutger hockey that's in the Big Ten. Well, I mean, I guess there is only one Rutger. If you had a second Rutger, then you would have to start a team called Rutgers that was made only of guys named Rutger. Oh, boy. There was a one-on-one opportunity there for Michigan State. Fired it, and nothing came. And Penn State has won the NCAA Wrestling Championships to the surprise of absolutely nobody. The NCAA Wrestling title was decided when the fucking DA in Iowa City decided that they were going to go after the... Wow. Oh, man. MSU just blew several very good scoring chances. But yeah, the wrestling season title was decided when they suspended half of Iowa's starting lineup for gambling. I mean, that was it. We all knew it. Everybody that follows the sport knew that Penn State won it then. Our banner now reads, Iowa women's basketball desecrates Holy Cross. Man, Michigan State is really applying more pressure now. They are getting more good looks. No, we got like a couple people. You know what? I don't think so. I mean, so what's the schedule for these Sweet 16 games? Let me just check that out. We got to think about how we should optimize this.
They probably don't have the TV schedule yet.
But they usually don't put those games on until the evening, right? I'm not going to have to leave work at like fucking 2 p.m. again.
No.
I only got away with that one because my boss was traveling.
At worst, like a game.
Yeah.
If that.
Oh, that I can absolutely do. So we should figure out then, I guess there's a few how we can optimize this, how we can get as many eyes as possible, and what we got to do to keep them. The thing that's going to be most helpful to keep eyes on it is that Illinois is going to have a a major caliber opponent. I think that's going to help a lot because I was, of course, a lot more animated and engaged when we had Morehead State actually doing things. We had things to worry about. I'll have to make my first drink not as big. I think I was much thirstier on Thursday because I poured the same size of drink and it took me much longer to drink today. So I can cycle through things a little faster. Oh, wait, no, I can't cycle through things faster because I already promised the viewership that I would fill my 3-liter with Labatt's Blue. Timeout, Michigan. Michigan. Oh, this is great. There is a Michigan State fan behind the bench, or right behind the Michigan bench in this huddle, who is just going nuts on the glass. I've seen the expression "mogs me." Have you heard that? I believe it means like there, but for the grace of God, go I. Oh, I totally feel that. That's the same energy that I want to communicate. You know what I mean? Am I using that expression correctly? I don't think that we've got any alpha zoomer types on here that will tell me. So Carter Starachi, after entering the transfer portal for declaring he was entering the transfer portal for like 30 minutes or so, got talked down by his head coach and won a national title. That's like a pro wrestling storyline in regular wrestling.
The fuck is this camera?
Switching to different camera angles for no apparent reason. Refreshing to hear. Oh boy, I'm late to my deliverable with the shot video. I'll wait for the drama to die down. I don't know. I mean, it's not really a moment I gotta capitalize on here, but I do need the Jägermeister. I'm thinking about. I am thinking about how to do my champagne room shot video recap, and I think I've figured out how I'm going to do it. And it's going to involve having this D Brown ass dog on my lap. Because after all, this was the man who led us to the last one, the last Sweet 16 appearance. (86-61), 25-point game, 3:16 to go. I mean, it has been a 20-point game since like the first 10 minutes. Oh boy. Well, this shift is just going very poorly for the Spartans. Oh, boy. It's amazing going from watching soccer to watching hockey because it just happens so fast. I've just never really liked watching soccer. But I sure do love my team.
Zach was laughing at the review today, and he's like, I don't even like soccer, but most of the reason I come is just listen to these cackle on.
Okay, but I mean, you saw what that goalie did.
No, I know, but
have you ever?
It was before that.
Oh, okay.
You're yelling something at somebody.
Because you specifically said cackle, which is what I did. I mean,
No, you were. It was. I can't remember what it was, but he was laughing at it. It was really funny.
I mean, you do not have to be a big time soccer buff to understand that goalie did a very stupid thing and single handedly lost his team the game.
You're laughing at some guy. I don't remember.
Ooh, boy. That was a big opportunity for Michigan. Duke versus Ohio State in women's ball. I don't care about Duke women's ball. Man, I got like just one time to watch Illinois in the women's basketball tournament, and then that's it. I mean, I think they have a good shot of going back next year, but like, you know, it really is a reason that I don't like that I never cared about the women's ball tournament is because, well, one, UConn was doing that Jimmy Johnson NASCAR thing and just winning all the titles. And then, but then even after that, when it became competitive, it's like, you know, it's like watching that. I didn't watch any of the fucking bowl games this year, except for the, playoff. I kind of felt I had to, but it was like, my team's never going to be in this. It was unforeseeable that Illinois would ever make a women's basketball tournament again.
Cuts the music off so quick,
yeah.
Half the time it's not even finished a word.
Right. So 1-1 ball game for Detroit City FC. The goalie just, City has an attack and the goalie comes out of the box to challenge it like, with basically no help. And our dude just kind of, beats him and kicks it. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Just sit back in the goal and use your hands. Like, yeah, I mean, he came way the fuck out of the box and kind of tripped over himself trying to challenge it. Couldn't get back in time. I mean, just got himself out of position. It was very dumb. And like a couple minutes later, he did it again, and it was only an incredible defensive play by a defenseman that saved it from being a 3-1 ball game.
After that, Zach made a comment about how the goalie was like being very outlandish with his saves, like following on it when he really did need to.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's probably because he almost let it go in, and he's like paranoid now.
Yeah, because then after that, the goalie was absolutely pressing. You could see the fear of God in him every time Detroit City came down the field. It does indeed.
This has been fun.
Indeed. I feel like one of the things we can talk strategy for our next one. I feel like one of the things that's going to help a lot is having a more competitive fucking game.
Well, yeah, this one was a bit of a.
There it is! There it is! Fuck Michigan! Fuck Michigan! Michigan State wins
Michigan
the Big
State
Ten.
won the title?
And more importantly, Michigan does not.
it's annoying to me that matchup and the women's gymnastics matchup were basically like, who in the Mitten State will take this one?
Yeah, that's true because Michigan also finished third in women's gymnastics. So
Wait, I didn't see the finish of the scores. Who won? Was it State?
Michigan State just you talking about gymnastics?
Yeah.
Yeah. MSU is their first Big Ten championship in women's gymnastics.
Who was second? Ohio State?
Minnesota.
What?
Yeah, Minnesota's been decent. The winning score was 197.6, which is
Pretty low.
I mean, good, but like
your orange dog in Jersey is killing me, by the way. Oh, pretty girl.
Well, wait, were you around here when I tried to put that jersey on the other dog?
You're not having it.
Oh yeah, she got.
I did see that.
No, I mean, if I had legitimately, if I had tried any longer than I did, she would have actually bit me.
She gave you a look of like, please stop now.
She usually does.
That's the dude that set this up.
I mean, it's the first time we've made it out of the second round since I was in like 8th grade or something, and I feel like this time around it was kind of easy mode.
Yeah,
but like,
well,
how did we get seeded with fucking Loyola Chicago and Houston? And I mean, last year we just didn't have a good team because the team was like trying to kill each other. But
yeah, well, the other thing is, even if we'd won, we would have been against fucking Kansas, 1 seed.
Once again, yeah.
Well, and it's what I keep, and this is kind of what I kept saying every single year, that people want Underwood's head for not making the Sweet 16. You know how you make the Sweet 16 is you keep going to the fucking tournament.
Yeah, I mean,
and eventually you get a draw like this.
Also, the Underwood hate. I mean, I don't know. I was also watching the team in 2014, 15, 16, where it was Rayvonte Rice and doing nothing. Like it was, we're winning most of the games we play now. You got to be happy about that.
Yeah, the regular season matters to me. I'm not a Michigan basketball fan. It matters to me that we beat the shit out of Wisconsin. I mean, it was horrible losing 15 in a row to fucking Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, indescribable, cosmic horrors beyond my comprehension.
Well, also, I think it was when we beat them at the end of the end of the season. It was the first time that any team had won 4 straight at Kohl Center, which was this impenetrable fortress, and we broke the record. Like, fuck Wisconsin.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I mean, I think Underwood's a damn good coach, and compared to the depth we've been in before, this is delightful.
Yeah, the thing that I'm most angry about let me put it to you this way, okay? Last night I attempted to explain Steve Alford to my wife. Why we don't like Steve Alford, why he's a piece of shit. And yeah, you do, because the story sounded an awful lot like what happened with Illinois basketball this year.
I forgot he was Iowa, honestly. That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing where Pierre Pierce got charged with rape and then never got suspended. Yeah. I mean, because yes, it was in a way different. Oh, that's hockey. That's classic hockey hair. I mean, that, you know what? No. Hockey hair, that's pretty conservative hockey hair. I've seen some wild ass hockey hair. It's honestly, hockey hair is one of those things that's kind of like lacrosse names, where how there's the lacrosse all name team. There's also some hockey magazine that does the best college hockey hair bracket, where you get bleach blonde mullets, But yeah, I mean, if you're a hockey player, that's the bare minimum. That's the most normal hockey hair I've ever seen. Right, Chris? I mean, it's up there. It's pretty.
Oh yeah.
That's the least ridiculous hockey hair. I gotta shoot the shot video right now. So
Yes.
I get my Jägermeister. I get my Hound Dog.
I'm sorry, Mom.
I think Orange Dog in Jersey needs to make an appearance on the shot video, even if she's seems to be comatose.
She's awake. She's looking around. The other one's passed out.
Smart dog. Ours is. I'm realizing now that there's no one on the stream but the two of us.
Okay.
Done. I'm going to go on video to show our dog. I need to share a video of our dog because there's no one else on anyways.
Yeah. So wait a minute.
Oh.
He's incapable of keeping his tongue in his mouth when he's asleep.
So is she, except she's awake.
Oh, buddy. He's had a hard day of doing absolutely fuck all.
The other one woke up. So you gonna do a shot of Jaeger with him?
Oh, Jaeger? Yeah, I can do Jaeger.
Do a shot of Jaeger with Chris.
Yeah.
His team won too.
Hell yeah.
Let's just make sure this is the right one. Millie, do you need to go outside?
Who do we play next?
No idea.
Steve wrong.
Yeah, hold on. I'm watching several ads before I can get to my.
And that's the right question.
But yes,
Who do we play next? Thump?
Iowa State.
Oh, right. I'm not afraid of them.
Take the tag off your hat. You look like a dweeb. Sorry, it bothers me when more people don't take their tags off their hats. Look at this. Steven ran, Billy ran.
When I move, you move, just like that.
We'll just focus on the moon. Hi, Moon. Hi. Can you lift your head? Or are you just gonna look at me?
Now listen. Get in here. You dog.
Ooh.
You are such a hound.
Those are reasons to lift her head.
I'm gonna move that mic a little bit.
Moon. First big time tournament title in program history.
Really?
Technically, because the Big
Oh.
has only been around for like a few
Yeah.
decades.
Oh.
That's right. That's right. We were talking about how like they broke up, like the Big Ten schools had been in a different one.
They were making a thing the other day, like whenever it was 2 weeks ago, when they won the regular season, like, first Big Ten championship. Well, as the Big Ten. Oh.
Yeah.
All sorts of trouble. She's kind of scared, so she's don't lick your sister's butt. Weird dog.
Where's my phone? Oh my god. Billy, you're so dumb. All right.
Wait, was I supposed to start?
Nope, go ahead. Well, 17 years ago, I started my freshman year at the University of Illinois. And they all told me, don't pay attention to football. I should have listened. But they also told me that basketball, Illini basketball, is a powerhouse. Because this guy led us to the Sweet 16. And 17 years later, here we are. We are back. I kept telling y'all, all we have to do to make the Sweet 16 is just keep going to the tournament. And eventually we'll get a draw like this. Bring on Iowa State. Don't nobody scare me. ILL.
Why me?
Forever be true. I'll be walking on rocks with you. Boom. End the stream.